Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, my dear students. How are you doing? I hope all of you fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. I'm also doing great. I'm Sharia Tasnim Billah, Assistant Teacher English, St. Xavier's High School, Khulna. Today, I'm here for you to take an online class on behalf of St. Xavier's High School, Khulna. So, my dear students, let's get started. Do you know what you are going to learn today? Okay, guess, try to guess. And please look at the board. He is a good student. What is this, my dear students? What is this? It's a sentence, right? And if I add a question after this sentence, that is called tag question. Okay, my dear students? Isn't he? And note of interrogation. It's a sentence and if I add a question after this sentence, that is called tag question. Okay, now I'll write down the definition for you. First, dear students, give the title tag question. Today you are going to learn all about tag question. Okay? Tag question part 1. Sentence এর শেষে সমর্থনসূচক প্রশ্ন যোগ করাকে tag question বলে. In English we can say a question converted from a sentence by an appended interrogative formula, that is called tag question. Okay, now there are some rules to do tag question. How you will do tag question? কিভাবে tag question করবে? There are some rules that you have to follow. Okay. Before starting the rules, there are some auxiliary verb that you have to know. Okay. Auxiliary verb. What are they? These auxiliary verbs are am, is, are, was, were, do, does, did, have, has, had, shall, should, will, would, Did you write down it? please write down whatever I write. Would, can, could, may, might, need, ought to, used to, and last on dare. Okay, that's all. These auxiliary verbs are used to do tag question. Clear? So you have to write down it and you have to remember it very carefully. Okay, now we have to use the short forms of these auxiliary verbs. So, dear students, please write down it also, the short form of this auxiliary verbs. Okay, that means this is also called tag form. Auxiliary verb plus not, auxiliary verb plus not, and contracted form. That means which I have to use to do tag question. First one, dear students, please write down it, note down it with me. Am not, aren't or ain't, is not, isn't. You have to use this short form to do tag question. This short form to do tag question. While we'll do the rule, you will get the clear idea. First, write down this chart. Okay, dear students? Am not, aren't or ain't, is not, isn't, are not, aren't, was not, wasn't, why not, weren't, had not, haven't, has not, hasn't, had not, hadn't, do not, don't, does not, doesn't, did not, didn't. Next on, does not, doesn't. Okay? Okay, I'll write down 2 times. Okay, no problem. Did not, didn't. Shall not, shan't. Will not, won't. Cannot, can't. Should not, shouldn't. Must not, mustn't. Might not, mightn't. Got not, wouldn't. Dare not, daren't. And need. Plus not, needn't. Okay? Is it clear? Please write down it. Please note down it, dear students. Okay, now we'll go for next. That means rules. So, my dear students, can I clean it now? I hope so. Okay, now there are some general rules that you have to follow. General rules of tag question. Write down with me. General rule. General rules of tag. Okay. Okay, first one, if there is auxiliary verb in a sentence. যদি কোনো সেন্টেন্সে auxiliary verb থাকে. Okay, write down with me. Auxiliary verb যুক্ত. Auxiliary verb যুক্ত. Okay, my dear students, let's take an example of auxiliary verb. Okay, he was a good writer. It's a sentence. Okay. And it's a sentence with auxiliary verb, right? এই সেন্টেন্সটা কি আছে? সেন্টেন্সে অক্সিলারি ভার্ব আছে। অক্সিলারি ভার্ব কোনটা? একটু আগে তোমাদের দেখিয়েছি অক্সিলারি ভার্ব কোনগুলা। ওকে, সো was, here was it's an auxiliary verb. So the rule is, first I'll write down the rule, then it will be easy for you to get the answer. Okay, he was a good writer, auxiliary verb. Okay, first you have to give given sentence, that means given sentence, prodakto sentence. Okay, write down with me, prodakto sentence, given sentence plus comma, given sentence, then we will use comma. Okay, next auxiliary verb. I'll write down the short form auxiliary verb. Okay, auxiliary verb of given sentence, auxiliary verb প্রদত্ত সেন্টেন্সে, প্রদত্ত সেন্টেন্স এর plus if the sentence is affirmative, then we have to use their not. But if the sentence is negative, then you don't need to use not here. Clear? That means prodotto, for your better understanding, I will write down it in Bengali. Okay, dear students, prodotto sentence affirmative hole, affirmative, that means হ্যাঁ বোধক যেগুলো বাক্য আছে, প্রদত্ত সেন্টেন্স অ্যাফার্মেটিভ হলে ট্যাগ নট বসে এবং সেম ওয়ে প্রদত্ত সেন্টেন্স নেগেটিভ হলে, প্রদত্ত সেন্টেন্স নেগেটিভ হলে ট্যাগ নট, ট্যাগের ক্ষেত্রে নট বসে, ট্যাগে নট বসে না। ওকে, প্লাস okay, next plus প্রদত্ত সেন্টেন্স এর সাবজেক্টের প্রোনাউন ফর্ম, সাবজেক্ট এর pronoun from plus note of interrogation. Okay, now my dear students, can you do it? He was a good writer. Notice the sentence very carefully. Is it affirmative or negative? It's a affirmative sentence, right? So you have to give their negative. Okay, first the sentence. Okay, we have to write down the sentence first. He was a good writer. In your exam, you have to write down it fully, otherwise you will not get marks. Okay, he was a good writer. Next, comma. Next, auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb কি হবে? auxiliary ভার্বটা প্রদত্ত সেন্টেন্স এই যে সেন্টেন্সটা আছে এটার auxiliary verb। এখানে auxiliary ভার্বটা কি আছে? was। ওকে, নেক্সট was। ওকে, নেক্সট প্রদত্ত সেন্টেন্স অ্যাফার্মেটিভ হলে, অ্যাফার্মেটিভ আছে কিন্তু আমাদের, অ্যাফার্মেটিভ হলে এখানে একটা নট আনতে হবে, ট্যাগ ফর্ম যেটা। ওকে, I already showed you the tag form. I already showed you the tag form, okay? And you have to follow it. Wasn't. Next, what the sentence is subject and pronoun form. Then, question mark. That means note of interrogation. Now it is finished. Okay, my dear students, I hope you get the rule properly. Now, if there is negative, auxiliary verb but negative, okay, now I'll write down another example for you. Okay, another example. Okay, and you will try to do it by yourself. Karim doesn't study properly. Karim doesn't study properly. First you have to look at, is it affirmative or negative? Of course it's a negative sentence because here we use not, so it's a negative sentence, so the rule will be same, here will be changed. Where? Okay, first dear students, try to do it by your own. Okay, Karim doesn't study properly. Karim doesn't study properly. Next, comma, auxiliary verb. Here auxiliary verb is does. Okay, does. Next, প্রদত্ত সেন্টেন্স নেগেটিভ হলে এটা নেগেটিভ সেন্টেন্স, সো এটাকে নট বসবে না। ওকে, ডাজ ফিনিশ। দেন প্রদত্ত সেন্টেন্সের সাবজেক্টের pronoun form. Pronoun form, that means Karim is a name. Pronoun form is he. Does he, and after that note of interrogation. Okay, finish. Now dear students, it's rule of auxiliary verb, but if there is main verb or verb to, that means past tense. Okay, write down with me. If there is main verb, মূল ভার্ব যুক্ত আর past form যুক্ত থাকলে, past form যুক্ত। Okay, let's take an example. Ronnie played football. Okay, Ronnie played football. Here the sentence, there is past form, right? There is past form. You get it? Ronnie, subject, and here we use be2, past form. Okay, now we'll do the same rule, but okay, write down. You will write down again in the rule. Okay. Here, tense অনুযায়ী auxiliary verb. That means tense অনুযায়ী auxiliary verb and the rest is same. That means if the tense is past tense, you have to use here did, and if the sentence is present tense, that means you have to use here do or does. Okay, so Ronnie played football. First write down the sentence. Ronnie played football. Next, comma. Next, auxiliary verb. Tense অনুযায়ী auxiliary verb. Okay, that means did. That means did. It is past tense, so you have to use did here. Okay, then what are the sentence affirmative hole negative? It's an affirmative sentence, so you have to give their not. Okay, the not, that means take from, you have to use it like that. Okay, I'll show, I already showed you, right? Okay, didn't Ronnie, it's a name, subject. Here we have to use pronoun he, and at last note of interrogation, or we can say it question mark also. Okay, my dear students, that's all for today, and next class I will show you the rest of the rules of tag question. Okay, my dear students, no more today. I hope you will get the rules properly and study properly and enjoy your study, and always try to do study properly. Be home and goodbye. So my dear students, no more today. I hope I will see you soon. Thank you.